What's up, everybody? It's the show that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on. My friend, Brian E. B.R. Jeff L. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for hopping on with the new time here at Call to the Pin HQ with me, John Laghezza, your host. Big man, big mouth, big apple, big something or other. Definitely big mouth. Come on, we may be small, but we are fierce. This isn't Manus. This is Sparta. Call to the Pen, redheaded stepchild of the Hammer Betting Network. Our man Rob Pizzola is at Bet Bash right now, chilling. Of course, me. Certainty. Man, it's good. We're gonna have a lot of fun today because there are no games on the schedule. BGC, what's going on? Another Brian, Doctor, Brian. Of course, death, taxes, right? Bears making dookie in the woods, sun rising in the east, me up before the crack of dawn to bring you this show. And of course, Rob P is tweeting from the craps table at Circa. At whatever it was, gosh, had to be 5:30 in the morning here, 5 o'clock in the morning here. So it was 2 o'clock in the morning there. Good luck, Rob. Hopefully, he might still be awake. Who knows? Please rate, review, and subscribe, because that stuff matters way more than it should. To that point, we get to take a second today to thank all the members of the Phalanx. Right? We funnel them in. We toss them in the pit, yo. We are effing fierce. Me and Jay Bird hanging with Mr. Cooper on the ones and twos. All kidding aside, we talk about appreciating you and the work that goes into it. That is the most realest part of it. And maybe that's the tie into this next point. Man, so many baseball shows have just had their audience like lopped in half, completely amputated, and it doesn't come back. Summertimes leads into football and kids going back to school. And just like a general lack of interest in the end of the regular season, which I don't understand. Maybe because the fantasy crowd is starting to bow out, like every little bit you lose. I tend to think also some of it are bettors that got smashed, frustrated. They hang it up and they move on to football. They bury the units, whatever, and move on to football. And we're here doing it every single day, man. 1:15 off the crack of the bat. Certainly the fastest show in MLB, absolutely anywhere. Let me tell you, listen to them all. Including you up there in Bristol, okay, with all your fancy production, all that stuff. Me and Jay Bird wiping the floor with you clowns. Sorry. Hate to be like that. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. Hashtag we hate bullpens. Okay. This time of year, we just, like I said, the realness kind of shows. Let's get into it, everybody. Yeah, BGC says Bet Bash looks like a good time on the Twitter machine. You got that right. Really does. I don't know, man. Who are these guys that are leaving their families and stuff? I don't know, maybe it's me. Although, another one, right? Gold, I'm taking my gold stars today. Why are we doing so well? And my family guy at heart, man. And there isn't a lot of that. I think for a long time, the betting space was kind of filled with I got to trust me, I'm like alpha as it goes, man. I'm anti-fragility. I'm all that. I'm a nice guy. I'm a Disney dad. I got a spotted past, man, and a record to prove it. But in reality, integrating betting right every single day into kind of a conventional kind of family style, normal existence, right? You don't need wife and kids, just be a normal person, right? And oftentimes there's sort of, if you bet all the time, you're some kind of degenerate, you have some kind of problem with and I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but that is madness. This is Sparta, right? Risk management at the center of everything that we do here. And again, the last tip, because I'm talking about betting. If you do find yourself losing and end up in any kind of trouble, listen, do the work on paper. Just stop actually betting money for a little bit, save a deposit, show that you can make money in 30, 60, 90-day span, and then get back into it. It's all right. Everybody that hung in for the first 5 minutes gets a little lesson. Let's dive into the games. The first 4 are in the morning, and the last 4 are at night. So we're going to take our time and saunter through these games, have a little bit of fun, doing the analysis, the stuff that we do. Hopefully come up with a few bets. I have a couple we'll post them, and then maybe we'll circle around to the afternoon stuff. Maybe we'll even get some props and stuff today, depending on the splits. Let's get at it. All right, let me just double check everybody. Sorry. Yeah, 6. Okay, 4 early and 4 late. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't cut that off. So you'd be like ordering. You would think, build millions of people looking at this stuff, that games would be in order and you'd be able to move and all this stuff, and it does not work that way. They're all in different orders. Sometimes some books use birth names. Whatever. Christian Green, Hunter Green, just so you know. All right, Matt Libator, Mr. Freedom on the bump for the Redbirds, plus 145 dogs. against Zach Attack, Littell, and the Rays. Man, Rays bitten by the injury bug really bad. Brian David, see out the corner of my eye. Same for you, PPS. Jay Bird, what's going on, man? The Rays just always finding pitching, always developing pitching like all the time. It's all the time. It's just this like inevitability. Now we're seeing, I think it's Little. Zach Little is getting stretched out. He's been excellent. Like, yeah, a big surprise, like Rays pitchers that are really good. 4.04 ERA, 1.35 whip, but I don't think that really tells the tale. Again, you got to be careful. I do provide data. You can get on Twitter at John Laghezza. You can never have enough splits, but right, that's why I'm here. Is hope doing some of the work that you don't have to. I have year-to-date data. When you have a pitcher that goes under a utilization change, like we've had with Little, you almost want to throw that stuff away. I mean, he's been stretching out. When they made the announcement, he went 3 1/3 at Texas, only gave up 1, struck out 4, walked none. That's good, Went to Houston, went 5, gave up 2, no walk, struck out 4. Notice the theme of control. Then at Detroit, completed 6, only 3 hits, no earned, 1 walk, 1 K. So Little, again, I don't know if this is probably not like a fantasy thing, right? I don't know if you're getting the Ks, but you're certainly getting the walks. Let's bring that up right off the bat, Jay. How about that? How about Little's walk prop? Again, the ball rate, just lowest you go is 4%, but if you're rolling with us, then you're normally using ball percentage. Right? 36 is average, 39 is terrible, anything under 33, 32 is phenomenal. And Little is down at 30, which is really excellent. I mean, with a 30% ball rate, you're going to earn that walk rate. Oh, man, the under is really juiced up. I wonder if you could pair it with the money line. I don't know if they let you do that. It depends on the book. Some books will. I could do that because the Rays again jacked up minus 175. Let's get into the other side. So Little, it's going to be all about control. Right, and he's keeping the ball down. That's really the other piece of the pie I didn't want to walk past. 49% ground ball rate. 2.5% blast rate. 1 home and 9. Expected WOBA about 300. Right in the nose. He's really struggled at home, but again, I'm not trying to fall in love with the reliever stuff. Remember, all that stuff gets thrown off very easily. He only has 35 innings on the season. It's a small enough sample as it is, right? So, other side, Liberatore, gosh, I really thought he might have been something. He was starting to flash in the preseason. He's got the pedigree and everything. There was one time where Liberatore thought he was going to be a pretty highly touted prospect. And not to say that won't happen. It's just, it hasn't happened. It's looked pretty bad. Granted, he's only 23, so there's still room. But a 6.9 ERA, 1.8 whip, 900 OPS, and the indicators just through the roof. His expected ERA is over 7.5. Yikes. Remember, expected ERA, best in-season correlation to ERA, which, again, is always going to be hard to wrangle, but it uses all the important stuff. 12.5 K to 10% walk. How do you get by on a 3% K minus walk? 6 swing and strike, 22 CSW. I got to mention the ball rate for Little down at 30. Liberatore, where 37, 38 is bad. His up at 40, paired with a 16 whiff, so he's not even get swing strikes. 57 first strike, doesn't get ahead. 27 O swing, doesn't induce chases. 93 zone contact, doesn't win in the zone. Righties have just annihilated him. So maybe that's the safest place to go. To be cool, actually. Jay, how about Tampa Bay hitter props? Tampa's starting to get up on offense. We spoke about that recently. Let's see who's got the stick going. Wander Franco's been pretty dope. Sometimes you get him for plus money. What's a Wander Franco total bases look like? If that's even at even money, we'll take it even down to minus 105. I was right on the nose, plus 100. Give me Wander Franco. And the total bases. He's just been smoking lately. And again, we talk about that with the rising tide and sine waves all the time. So he's just back, I guess, and he's raking. So a lot of times when you see these really good players coming off a down spin, coming off the IL or missed time or whatever the case may be. In Franco's case, he's just kind of getting up off the mat. You get with these guys, they're awesome. So, all right, give me Franco with the even money. I think the Rays kind of crush. I like the little underwalk prop, though. You got to pay for it. It's always kind of tough for me to pay for juice Going up against, sorry, I'm mumbling something right now. I'm bumbling with my sheets here. Going up and paying juice when you're going up against the Cardinals, especially without the confidence in Little, right? We do like the control, but if you're going up the Cardinals, you really want to make sure that you're getting whiffs, which again, Little is not, right? We don't want to paint this in something it's not. Tampa Bay offense has been okay, but again, the disappointing stuff there has been pretty whack. When they get the stick on the ball, it's working. Other side for St. Louis, it's really a mixed bag. I wonder if this is the beginning of it again. The K rate as a team down at 90%. The walk rate is low because they're getting very aggressive, but putting the ball in the air and barreling it up. And the flip side to Tampa, they've really struggled against lefties. Bottom 5 expected WOBA last 30 against lefties for Tampa, but I don't know if I'm really buying that one. Again, those split stuff. One, they could be highly vulnerable to, high quality pitchers, especially the lefties. Also, they're vulnerable to smaller samples if you only faced a few. And especially when you get those signals that, your good team is starting to rake. Remember how good Tampa was early on in the year. Then they totally went in the tank, and we're starting to see those numbers kind of pop back up. 800 team OPS, last 500 plate appearances. Like the Rays are getting back up. Remember to drag that from the 665 it was at for 3 months. Maybe, all right, I'm exaggerating. Maybe like 6 weeks, though. Month and a half for real. I'll flag plant that one. So Tampa wheels turning up. St. Louis, listen, is a disaster. But they do rake. So that's always going to be the hiccup, and that's generally when I'm looking to avoid paying the tax on these teams. All right, that was a little bit of fun. Got to take our time on that one. So it's Rays, little under, Juan Franco, total bases. Kind of get him how you get him. I don't know if I posted the Rays cover. No, I actually binned the Rays. So, Jay, we could do that. And when I say that, people, sometimes, as a call, let's do a lesson anyway. Baseball betting in particular is very, if I haven't noticed, is very hard. Right? Winning games outright is difficult enough. Covering games especially difficult. To that point. Outside of the Ghost Runner, which is a death knell for run lines right now. This goes for betting in general, and it's probably a good lesson as we make our way into football. Keep your bets in line with the management as best you can. I understand you're not always going to do that. What I mean is, right, coaches and GMs and stuff are not generally worried about covering spreads. And to that point, they'll sacrifice your bet, you know what I'm saying, depending on the game script. So baseball team, you're up 2 in the 9th. 1 out, man on third. Guess what, homie? Playing back, that run's coming in. Right? Guys on first, they'll give him second. Sometimes they'll give him third. And you're like throwing up. So just something to keep an eye on. You try to keep it down to money lines. So when I say put it in the bin, I'll take higher juiced lines and pair them to get the plus money, dial down the risk. In this case, if you're on a book that'll let you SGP, the little under and the raise line, I would pair that. I would not pair it with the Juan Franco because that's plus money. Again, I really like to stay at least consistent. I don't have all the answers over time. Yes, I've been more profitable than not, but who the hell knows what tomorrow's going to bring. Remember, last lesson, feather in the cap. Past performance, not indicative of future, success whatsoever. Let's move it up next. Patrick Corbin is back. I mean, it's funny. Funny little baseball, listen, man, they pay these guys and they run them out. If you wonder how Patrick Corbin's out again, 132 innings, 5 ERA, 1.5 whip, OPS over 820. Of course, expected ERA over 6.25. Stuff plus on the fastball at 66. I mean, it's ridiculous. Remember, it's not WRC plus where 1 is a percent. 10 is a standard deviation. 3.5 standard deviations worse. It's ridiculous. Who even knows what you throw? It's so ridiculous. But again, these guys get the bag, and these teams feel obligated to roll them out. Pitching is very tough in the major leagues and injuries and stuff. I was just laughing. The smirk was because of fantasy. A lot of pitchers are starting to go down, and they can be tough to replace. So when you're looking to replace them, right, well, you sort by who has the most strikeouts in the season, right? Who's the best pitcher? But at this point of the year, there's an argument to be made. The worst pitchers in the league are the fantasy free agents with the highest strikeout totals. Because they just run these guys out there. It is just It is just awful. 15% K to 6% WAR for Corbin in the year. Of course, the ball rate over 37, whiff rate at 20, right? So there's that scale just broken. He has gotten ahead with tons of contact, 91% zone contact. He's kept the ball down on the ground 45% of the time, but the hard hit rate up at 45 and the 9% barrel, indicative of the miss rate. 8% miss rate. Again, that's at center box on Savant. So Corbin just always had these issues, even when he has managed to cut the walks. The home runs are disastrous, and righties are just killing him right now. Righties have a 308 batting average, 850 OPS. I've only struck out 15% of the time, nearly 2 homer 9. And Corbin has struggled on the road, 850 OPS, 530 ERA, 2.5 homer 9. So what's that mean? Let's get some Philly righties, right? How about that? Man, you got to be thinking Castellanos right off the bat, probably. He's on fire, just hit a couple of ding-dongs. When he runs hot, he's as good as anybody. And I think he's a heavy split guy. So, Jay, let's take a look at Castellanos. Man, he's right. Gosh, I really hate to pay juice, but it's minus 105. So that's like right on the cusp. Maybe we're being a little bit too cheap. Let's see if there's anyone else. Maybe we'll get a pair of these guys in here. I think we definitely want to look for righties. Probably righties versus lefties. Maybe even a little trade. How's Turner looking? Because I got Turner and I have Baum popping. So how about those three names? Let's get two at the best prices. So we get Trey Turner right down there. Yikes, no thank you. How about Alec Baum up there at the top? They've been raking lefties. Man, neither one of them. These are really, really brutal. See, again, I wouldn't, for anybody not following along, these in BetStamp, which is so great to do this quick kind of shopping. Not just one book, right? All the different books all at once. To give you an idea if the one you're looking at, how close it is to the regular price, if you might be able to beat it, in what direction the future price might be going. I would not pay minus 125 for any of these. I'd be more looking at parlay. How about a hit parlay? Can we do that? That's like my boy Jay at Player Props Savant. Make sure you're following him on Twitter. Him and Monotone Football boy Stewie have passed the show past the prop. Make sure you're checking that out on YouTube. They're excellent guys, and they're really great guys. And the chemistry, but they really do care, right? All the stuff that kind of we're into. So Jay, we see you, man. Love you, homie. Maybe like a hit prop. I know they do that and they're very successful. I can smash my head into the wall for total bases so many times. It can be a bit distasteful, especially when you're paying juice. So, Jay, we'd be looking for half a hit if any of those players. So, if all three of them are over 1.5 hits, and I think we'll just have to leave it. And then, this is one of those. I mean, yeah, if you found one and it could be juiced, it's okay because we're going to pair it. But again, since you don't really have a book sponsor of the show yet, I might as well just talk my ish. This is a perfect day for underdog. Like if you play underdog, drafters, prize picks, you'll be able to find these on your menu. So forget the fact about the juice. They're not even available. That's the best way to attack these. Hey, how about hits, runs, and ribbies? You have that? I'm determined right now with the short show to eat up the 40 minutes, but also make some money for people, man. Let's go. So Corbin's kind of stuck. He'll bring it up. Aaron Nola on the bump for Phil's 114 ERA. Again, I mentioned expected ERA as one of the leading indicators for in-season correlation to earned runs. WHIP is the best, actually. That was part of an athletic article that I did. So ignore the 4.6 ERA for Nola. The indicators are all very strong at 3.8 or below. 19% K minus BB, 30 CSW. Those are all the checking the boxes, right? 32% ball rate, checking the boxes. Plus, you got the bully metric going when you add first strike to O swing. First strike plus chase rate when it's over 100. He's a bully. He gets up. He gets ahead. He makes you chase his junk. 65 first strike, 37 O swing for Nola. We know he has ace capabilities, doing his best pitching at home. You want to get with Nola at home. 210 batting average allowed, 640 OPS, 1.25 homer 9. Again, nearly 5 ERA, last 400 pitches thrown where the stabilization begins. But all the indicators really strong. The Sierra down near 3. That's good. So I guess we're on Philly. Sorry, Jay. I was not ignoring you, brother. He also said, the Turner Castellanos bomb hit parlay plus 107. I want to make sure they weren't. Okay, dude, love that. That I'm into. Let's get that. Love that. Love that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So nice we do it twice like a lemon ice, baby, no doubt. Get to that even money, people. That's what it is. So you got to like Philly today, though. It's definitely juiced up. Man, Nats just got no hit. Not that I really care about carryover in MLB. I wanted to make my way over to the bullpen stuff, because I was thinking about the cover. Washington bullpen's actually been very good, and the Philly bullpen's been really, really shaky. I guess if I have a strong enough signal, we could go for the Philly run line as well. We're not keeping those bets in line. I do have Philly I have Philly with the cover. Jay, check that price for me also. If it's minus 125 or better, we get a sniff of that. Philly for the cover on the Nats. Yeah, minus 120 or better, we'll go on that. That's price you could find on BetStamp, that app. Tell them Johnny sent you. We'll tell you a little about it after the next game. Sorry, it is a nice little mix right there. We have Phillies to cover with a mixture of hits going on. I also should have mentioned, I got to it a little bit late. And again, this is the hat tip to our boys, Like we say, this is the restaurant where the chefs eat for a reason. D-Rock, I see you, corner my eye, man. Other cappers and Twitter, influencers and people in the industry are coming to the show. First of all, I know there are people here that straight up copy our picks. I don't care. I honestly don't care. I'm on first, and whatever. Again, it's so funny. People will tell me, just even though I'm telling them not to, and even if we're losing sometimes, because the one thing I always hung my hat on, and again, it's why I never get nuked on social media. We're always in front of CLV. It is uncanny. I've had the best in the business confirmed. It is uncanny. I've even had people with, not say bad intention, but they were looking to call my bluff. And again, open CLV challenge. I mean to mention this all the time. If we're off a line, and again, you can't go by 5 cents to money. I see you, man. CLV preacher, exactly. Was the son of a CL preacher, man. If I post a line and it moves, if it's a total, it has to move the half run. Okay, if you can't hold me to 5 cents in the book, because I'm not using the best prices. We're trying to book play for the average person out there, getting this on the commuter train home, giving you the second best price we could find, the market price. Okay, sharpest people obviously use BetStamp to use the best one. We're not even doing that on purpose, right? I guess I have to have some kind of proof for. I guess on a money line, if we had a favorite and swung the dog, that's a certain loss. And maybe like a 50-cent moves are tough. I'm not trying to cover my hiney. But for sure on the totals, again, we had another one. Man, when we got hits on these F5 unders, geez, I may have to turn into like the 1 million unit mega whale play. Smashed another one yesterday. These games are coming in 0-0. Right? F5 U5s, U5.5s that are coming in 0-0. The under stuff has been awesome. It makes sense, right? The people are leaning towards the over. The public loves the over, and we're heading into the summer, and people are starting to watch football. No one likes the under. No one likes F5 betting, and bullpens suck. So some of these games that are unders end up going over, and again, whatever. It's been like the one hole for edge. So I like Philly to cover. We got the Philly hit parlay. Let's move it up. It's the Royals with cheese plus 190 dogs on the road. Jay, I don't even know if this one is listed. I saw a mixture of Austin Cox and Alec Marsh. When I printed this morning, I thought it was Marsh. I think Cox just opens. So Cox is a lefty. And yeah, he's just opening. He's been pretty good scoreless in 3 of the last 4. Then they're going to run out Marsh, who's gone for some distance, but he's been awful, man. 7 ERA, 1.7 whip, 980 OPS. He had 980. Again, the expected ERA up near 7. Those are right off the bat. You just go get that. When you see those crazy expected ERAs, there's a lot going on, because remember, they also bake in disciplinary stats and stuff. Right, Jay Bird with the confirm, hardest working producer in the game. Again, back to Alec Marsh. 13% walk rate, right? So even if Cox comes in and it's a clean cock for 1 inning, they're going to pass over to Marsh, and it's been really disastrous for him. I mean, if you go back to the Cork stats days, we used to target bad math, right? 48% fly ball, 11.5 barrel, 3.25 home runs per nine, 377 expected WOBA for Marsh, and just the worst on the road, 7.5 ERA, 1,000 OPS. It's just 3 home run. It's ridiculous. Other side, James Paxton, awesome. Although, if I'm not mistaken, he's actually hiccuped a few times. Recently, I think we gotten caught chasing Paxton. Also, Kansas City offense starting to wake up, though they kind of stink against lefties. So I think we want a piece of this bullpen, and I think this was the other part of my bin. It was, Jay. So we can get the Tampa. We didn't touch the Tampa close. So you can go Boston money line and Tampa money line. That'll get you clear or even money, and I think we have it both. And I just hate to look for these covers. And again, why? Boston last 54 innings. The bullpen is a 7 ERA. Oh my God, a 1.8 whip. 16% K, batting average of 316 allowed. Nothing to be done by Kansas City. 6.3 ERA, 4.5 Sierra. Which is funny, this one. This is the reason for the inflated total. In fact, I believe I have a model ring on the F5 under. I'm worried about the Kansas City side. I think Paxton mushes KC. So let's see if we can piece something together here, right? We definitely want Baltimore and Tampa. Then hold on the Kansas City side. No, I was thinking about the strikeouts. They haven't struck out lately. Also, why you want to be looking. Not saying you need to be looking at small sample stuff, but you want to be moving from full season to last 500 and back. To get an idea. Again, if you're following this stuff every day, I can't keep up with my stuff, but I think it's the best. It's cheap as hell, man. So if you follow me on Twitter, the pinned tweet will bring it to Sharpener, where I have all my third-party stuff. Again, I'm going to keep it as cheap as it can be. Like baseball's $20 right now, rest of the season, if you haven't jumped on. I think the sheets themselves are worth it. I mean, the headache it goes through to try and put together all these splits and stuff, and the expected stats, combining everything, would be such a pain in the ass. But it gives you a really good idea at these 2-week samples of disciplinary metrics. Again, not just K-walk. You want swing and strike, chase rate, zone contact. You want to understand kind of the tapestry that's going in, and you'll see sometimes outliers from it. So I probably would have liked the Paxton K. Maybe we just need to be satisfied with the money line here. And I do really like the F5 under. Jay, is it 6? Is it 6.5? Is it 6? It says 6.5 out there. Jeez. Oh my gosh. That book is wild. But man, you know what? Maybe we should go with the F5U6. Maybe we should go with the 6, man. 6 is an outrageous line. 6 is an outrageous line for an F5. Jay's highlighting the +1.5, but no, I can't get there because I have a lopside. Look, the reason I'm worried about the 6 is that Boston scores 7. But yeah, I think we want the under 6. You got N-118. That's just kind of absurd. Really, F5U6s, again, people, that's the first 5 innings under 6. That really belongs out in Coors or in Cincinnati, and not when Paxton's on the mound. BGC says, I'll tell you, but it's more fun to try and read between the lines of the Laghezza dialect. Yeah, I hear you, bro. I hear you barking, dog. I laugh at this all the time where if you rolled up to let's say there was a bar, 2 bars, identical bars next to each other, both filled with identical baseball betting going on, but one with the Spartan crew from Call to the Pen and one with, regular normies. Honestly, the Galapagos Island with Darwinism, it's just totally different language. It really is. We're speaking a different language. Hopefully it's the language that matters. Rate, review, and subscribe. While we get this beautiful menu up, people, I'm talking about all the benefits of shopping around. Jay, take half a minute. Let them know who we're working for.
Yeah, for sure, John. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Guys, simply, BetStamp is an odds comparison tool. We recommend using an odds comparison tool if you want to improve as a sports bettor. It's the easiest way to do so. BetStamp just simply compares odds across multiple platforms, including player props, money line parlays, futures, games, everything. Save time and money by checking BetStamp before you bet. Download the app today. If you're looking to sign up for a new sportsbook account, please check out the offers available at betstamp.app/call to the pen. Hit that link in the description or check out that link that is in the pinned comment. If you click that link and sign up through a book through that page. It just helps support the show. So if you're looking for new sports books and you want to improve as a sports bettor, this is the best way to do so. Now back to John.
All right. Insights back in the comments. Welcome aboard. Thank you again for the contributions as of late. It means a lot. We appreciate it, man. You know, some people out there are users. No. Oh, what I wanted to mention, again, looking at Insight. He's got posted full game 10.5. Okay, here's my take on this. I have a good one. We're under on the F5. If you like the over in this game, I suggest you bet it live. Because how about this? I think we might get to 11. And I don't think we're getting over 6 early. Though, again, that's why the 6 is so high. I mean, 3-2 through 5 is a decent score, right? You're pacing pretty much. And you're getting into those terrible bullpens. What I believe what's going to happen today, we'll try and keep this in mind. Jay, keep this in mind also. That we hit the F5, U6, even let's say there's some scoring and it's like 3-1 or something. The live total won't be 10.5. And I think you'll be able to get that 10.5 mid-game at like 8 or 8.5. And again, right, the same game has nothing changed. Because again, I'm under on the first 5. So again, everybody, thank you so much. I love this stuff. I love having, right, when you throw stuff at each other, we converse and go back and forth, we start hashing these things out. That's the birth of thought, right? That's why you never want the teacher that doesn't learn, right? That defeats a purpose. Like, I want to be as much a student as a teacher. All right, let's do the last one. This slate is the worst. It's the worst ever. And then we'll do an early parlay. I didn't even really look at it. But it's Ty Blech. Exactly. Plus 275. Aptly named Ty Blech. Plus 275 dog on the road against the Trolley Dodgers. And from what I understand, it's Clayton Kershaw, although I don't know if they locked him in yet. Yeah, Kershaw is locked in. He's a minus 360 favorite. I mean, we are at that point of the year. Like, I don't even know what you do with that. I'm sorry. I don't even know what you do with that. The run lines are at like minus 160. I don't think I've ever paid minus 160. I guess you could work that into a parlay with something else, I guess. But even with Dodgers versus Rockies and Black versus Clayton Coleslaw. Let's take a look at Black. Okay, 4.85 ERA, but a 1.6 whip, 840 OPS, indicators just through the roof again. Expected ERA north of 6.5, and Sierra north of 5. That's a great combination to attack. When I used to come up with attack metrics, that's a great attack metric. Like, just without looking. Like, if you're in a rush, over 6 expected, over 5 Sierra match, you go for it. Black doesn't really walk anybody, but the zone contact through the roof, so you'd be throwing batting practice, basically, to the Dodgers. I don't know. He stunk on the road. He's with Colorado, and righties have crushed him. So we got a 372 batting average allowed, 884 OPS. What's those Mookie Betts? Yeah, Insight says the card is poop emoji. I agree. How about a Mookie Betts total base prop? I think Betts has been getting it done, although, I may pull back on my decay props I've been loving so much. I have to redo the math. I was making money as I back tested. I started posting for the public. We're not getting killed. It's right on even, but we go through a 2-day downturn, and the umpiring is so bad that you realize you have a lot of money on umpiring, and I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I necessarily want that. So again, back into this one. Mookie Betts and the pricing. Gosh, all the plus players are priced up. Almost got caught on a alliteration right there. After that, man, lately the Dodgers righties have just been okay. I was looking for just anybody to pop anywhere. Oh, gosh, I got JD's out. It's like Kike, Hernandez. The Dodgers righties have just been really bad. And maybe Smith isn't hitting. Yeah, I mean, how about that? What if we try and hit prop Will Smith and Mookie Betts? Again, these total bases are such a nightmare. Betts walks and stuff. They won't pitch these guys. I have a slight ring. Hernandez, Kike's been hitting, but yeah, that's a winner right there, right? We're over money. So people, that's a good little back door to build yourself. You know you're in a great spot, right? We know the Dodgers are a tremendous favorite. If you sub to my stuff, they're projected model to score up over 5 runs, which is the benchmark for scoring. Right? Remember, 5 is not a literal 5. You got to model over 5 if you're ever going to get to 8 or 9. The thing basically max out at 6. Rays only team up above St. Louis. Although, again, we didn't want to cover because St. Louis scores, regardless. Colorado stinks. Their offense stinks. Their whole team just stinks. They're flushing it in. 228 team batting average for the Rockies, last 500 PAs. OBP below 300, of course, you look for that. The K rate through the roof, 27.5% K rate. I don't know about the workload for Kershaw. You could bring up the Kershaw K props also to go with the hit prop. Again, right, trying to create workarounds to the minus 370. If the Kershaw prop is even at 6.5, it's probably too high for me. I'm a chicken. Because it'll be juiced up, and you need too many strikeouts for a questionable workload. So, the way the Rockies are, though they are a little bit better against lefties, that'd probably be the reason I back off it. The bullpen's been terrible, so you probably get the cover for 160 anyway. Jay said the props are not listed, so everybody just keep an eye on them. Right, the starters are not confirmed yet, I guess. That's okay. That stuff happens. We appreciate it. But that's why I think could be helpful anyway, right? That we're setting people up for the if-thens. Like, if this person's out there, then you could look for this stuff. I think regardless, Smith and Betts is a good hit prop almost any night. You're getting plus money on it. Let's try and put together a little afternoon delight, everybody. Ugh, minus 122. Ugh. I guess. I guess. See, I think that's one of the things where I'm like vocalizing my internal losses right now. And again, we all do this. I don't want people to think, again, I think I am extremely disciplined, like as disciplined as it comes. But the reason I've gotten to that place is I'm always thinking about it and testing them, and thinking about the things that I'm doing and why I'm doing them. Right? So analysis will oftentimes very strongly lead me to a bet. But sometimes I'll let 10 cents of juice or 15 cents of juice throw me off. And you shouldn't do that. What you should be doing is figuring out the implied probabilities, and if they still work and cover the basis, then you go for it. Again, like our buddy Matt Williams always says, right, he doesn't bet teams, he bets math. Super sharp take. I do the same thing, but sometimes I forget. No, man, I don't like that. Right, trying to set rules setting rules is good. Trying to set rules that are too hard and fast, that may ignore things that matter, pertinent matters. That's not good. Right, so hopefully that's what I just did in real time. We'll take that minus 120. We got some bombs getting dropped. Inside says Diamondbacks 12 games straight on the 5 runs. A's longest streak was only 11. Wow, that's pretty unbelievable. B. Sim says Orioles haven't swept in the Rutschman era. Go figure. Great drop, B. Sims. Thank you very much. Really cool drop. I'm not really like a trend guy, but that is super sharp. Although I know I have at least one old school bettor that listens to the show that would tell you, like, yeah, obviously he's very big into like the anti-sweep and betting the other side of a doubleheader and stuff like that. Again, for a long time, that was betting analysis. All right, let's see if we can find something early. We're going off the algo with this one. Okay. Oh my God. So Braves have the Pirates. It's Elder and Falter. This one, Jay, if you could find 9.5, that's what we want. OPMG, have a great day, man. Didn't see you there. Appreciate you, dude. So if we can find 9.5, we want to go over. If not, gosh, it's got to be Braves to cover. So since everything is 10, I'd rather go with the Braves cover because again, I have that Elder has outperformed. Falter is not any good, and again, we have a landslide on this one. So it's Braves run line cover first little smoochie of our afternoon delight. Then we got Astros and Hunter Brown versus Orioles and Kramer. U95. I'm way under on this one, actually. I have this one modeled down to 8. And in fact, if you think these parlays are silly, and if you're strictly a straight bettor, I would bet this U9.5 in Baltimore, Houston. I bet this one straight up. In fact, I may. Yeah, I'm modeled way under. You know, Hunter Brown, and I guess it's the public off of Kramer, who's been good lately. You know, Baltimore, in particular, the righties at home. You got to keep an eye on these guys. Yeah, Kramer's been excellent last 400 pitches. Brown's just good. So I know the offenses are a touch, but again, we have a nice big total. So there's 2. Next one, Twinkies and Maeda against Tigers and Olsen. You know, with this one, I have this one modeled for a cover. But since the money line's at 160 and we're parlaying, we could just, let's stick with just the money line. So tack on the Twins money line. And then the third one, Blue Jays and Guardians. If you got it at 9.5, we'll go over, and that's our 4-pack. Put them together, and what do you got? Bibbity bobbity boop. Wow, Jay's actually got a couple 09s on this one. The same remark I have for Houston and Baltimore would go for Toronto, Cleveland. Just again, I'm having to learn when I have such strong model hits against the totals, you got to play them. So I'm going to go over the 9 Toronto, Cleveland, and then under the 9.5 Houston, Baltimore. We got a nice fatty 1070, baby. Come on. Drop $2 on it. Oh, did it drop down? Okay, that's okay. Depending on the book. Well, that's interesting. You know, funny, Jay teaching me every day. I hadn't seen that. The parlay option allows you to change books and show you which one is the best odds. And again, these odds are so different. Man, that was the BetStamp app commercial of a lifetime. So let's make sure we're getting at least 8.5 to 1. Oh, I understand. Jay was letting me know that some of the Atlanta run lines are at -2.5. Forget it. So just take the 1.5 and the 8 plus 8.5 to 1. And that'll make for a nice one. I'm never, ever betting a -2.5 run line based on principle. So if your book only has that one, eliminate that one from the parlay, people. Seriously. That is a hard, fast rule I think I'm okay with. And that will do it. Fastest show in MLB. Absolutely anywhere. Thank you so much. Rate, review, and subscribe. Audio only pod. 5-star reviews matter so much. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on YouTube. Just hit us up. Press the bell. Press the finger. Stick them both inside me. Whoop. You know, you get me at John Laghezza any time of day, any day of the week. We want to hear from you. We want to know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Seriously. The only way we're going to get better. And I think that's part of what we have. So enjoy your games. Enjoy the day when we're done with the book. Enjoy the pay. I know these weird scheduled days kind of bleh. We'll be back tomorrow with the full slate. Yes. And the Daily Cave leader that everybody loves so very much. So for Mr. Cooper and Big Gianni on the 1s and 2s, thanks for picking up what we're putting down. And remember, when you work this hard, it feels a lot less like luck, yo. Peace.